choke points are not immutable. For sure, over time, some choke points will lessen in their salience, but others may emerge that are even more powerful. So you think about it now. Let's say we're moving toward a world of currency multipolarity, such that in 5 or 10 years, the dollar is still the top dog. But if the U.S. sanctions you, you have a number of alternatives that may allow you to deal without the dollar, right? But let's also say in that world, 5 or 10 years from now, all of our businesses are completely run and completely dependent on running on LLMs from OpenAI and Anthropic and Google. Well, guess what? All three of them are U.S. companies, and the U.S. government can completely shut off your access to it, and you can't stockpile it. So if you're running your business on one of these LLMs and the U.S. government decides to shut you off today, well, guess what? Your business shuts down today. So to me, I think that we don't want to get our hopes up that economic warfare is going away. The choke points that the U.S. uses, that China uses, that Europe uses may change over time, but I think it will continue. And then even with the dollar, and I know your audience contains a lot of folks who pay attention to digital currencies. The Trump administration is making quite an interesting bet right now. They're basically assessing that we are moving toward a fundamentally different system for finance, that we are moving toward a system that digital currencies are going to play a bigger role. And their bet is that the way for the U.S. to dominate in that world is not through a sovereign currency, not through a central bank digital currency, but through privately issued stablecoins, these privately issued digital currencies that are pegged to the dollar, right? And in that world, let's say they're right, and we start having whole countries like Argentina and Venezuela and Turkey that are using dollar-pegged stablecoins for everything, paying employees, buying your morning coffee. Think about the power that gives the U.S. government. These stablecoins are not beyond the reach of the U.S. government. In order for you to have a dollar-pegged stablecoin, you have to be able to peg the coin to the dollar, which means you need a whole lot of U.S. assets. You need a ton of U.S. treasuries, right? I think Tether now is one of the biggest buyers of U.S. treasuries. But what happens if the U.S. government says to Tether, sorry, we've frozen your accounts? Tether no longer exists. Right. So, to me, like the idea that these stablecoins exist outside of the realm of the control of the U.S. government makes no sense.